Why is everyone buying Dune Part 3 tickets? The IMAX craze explained. Why is everyone suddenly buying tickets for Dune Part 3 when the movie doesn't even release until December? The answer is simple: IMAX. Ticket sales for Denis Villeneuve's highly anticipated conclusion to the Dune trilogy have exploded, with fans rushing to secure premium format seats months before the movie arrives in theaters. The latest wave of pre-sales has been so intense that theater websites have struggled to handle the traffic. And this isn't just a small group of hardcore fans. IMAX screenings are selling out in multiple locations, with some of the earliest 70mm screenings disappearing almost immediately. So why are people buying tickets this early? And why has IMAX become such a huge part of the Dune experience? Let's break it down. First, we need to understand what makes Dune Part 3 different from a normal blockbuster. This isn't simply another sequel. Denis Villeneuve has repeatedly described this movie as the conclusion to his planned Dune trilogy. The film adapts material from Frank Herbert's Dune Messiah, moving the story forward after the events of Dune Part 2. Timothée Chalamet returns as Paul Atreides, alongside Zendaya, Florence Pugh, Jason Momoa, Rebecca Ferguson, and a major new addition to the cast in Robert Pattinson. And Villeneuve is once again designing the movie specifically as a theatrical experience. That matters, because the Dune movies have become closely associated with large-format cinema. When Dune Part 1 arrived, audiences discovered that the scale of Arrakis was something that simply looked different on a massive screen. Then Dune Part 2 took that idea even further. The sandworms, the enormous landscapes, the battles, the spacecraft, the sound, the music, everything was designed to overwhelm the audience. And now Villeneuve is going even bigger. Dune Part 3 was shot using a combination of film formats, including IMAX 70mm for selected sequences. Some scenes can expand to the enormous 1.431 IMAX aspect ratio at compatible venues. That means certain moments can fill substantially more of the screen than a conventional widescreen presentation. And that is one of the biggest reasons fans are rushing to buy tickets. They aren't simply buying a seat, they're buying access to a specific version of the movie. The biggest prize is IMAX 70mm. This format is extremely limited. There are only a relatively small number of theaters capable of showing true 70mm IMAX film. That means when tickets become available, fans know that the number of seats is limited. And once those seats disappear, you may not get another opportunity to see the movie in that exact format. This happened earlier in 2026. The first wave of Dune Part 3 IMAX 70mm tickets went on sale months before release, and some locations reportedly sold out within minutes. Now, another wave of tickets has gone on sale, including IMAX, Dolby, and special early screenings. The response has been huge. The latest pre-sale rollout reportedly caused theater websites to crash under the demand. That is why you are seeing people talking about Dune Part 3 tickets months before December. It's not necessarily because everyone suddenly wants to see the movie immediately. It's because fans are afraid of missing the premium experience. And this is where the IMAX craze becomes particularly interesting. For years, audiences treated IMAX as simply a bigger screen, but that's changed. For filmmakers like Christopher Nolan and Denis Villeneuve, IMAX has become part of the filmmaking language itself. And the success of The Odyssey has made the appetite for large-format film even stronger. Christopher Nolan's The Odyssey became a massive IMAX event earlier this year, with audiences traveling long distances to see the film in 70mm IMAX. Some theaters even extended screenings because demand remained so strong. That experience has created another wave of interest in large-format cinema. And now Dune Part 3 is arriving at exactly the right moment. Fans have already seen what a properly designed IMAX movie can look and sound like. They don't want to wait until opening week to decide where they're going. They want the best seats, they want the best screen, and in some cases, they want the actual 70mm film presentation. There is another factor driving demand: the movie's release date. Dune Part 3 is scheduled for December 18, 2026. And that's the same release date as another enormous blockbuster, Avengers Doomsday. That creates a fascinating battle for premium screens. IMAX screens are limited, so when two major movies arrive at the same time, theater operators have to decide how to divide those screens. And this has become a major part of the December box office conversation. IMAX CEO Rich Gelfond has previously indicated that he believes Dune Part 3 has a particularly strong position in the premium format battle. Disney has responded with its own premium presentation strategy for Avengers Doomsday, creating a new format called Infinity Vision. So this isn't simply a battle between two movies, it's also a battle for the biggest screens in the world. And that's another reason fans are buying tickets early. They know premium format availability is limited. If you're determined to watch Dune Part 3 in IMAX 70mm, waiting until the week of release could be a serious gamble. But there's something else happening here. FOMO, fear of missing out. When fans see posts saying that IMAX screenings are sold out months before release, more people immediately start checking ticket websites. Then, those people see limited seats remaining, and suddenly they feel pressure to buy. The same thing happened with major IMAX releases before. But Dune has an additional advantage. The audience already knows that Villeneuve cares about the theatrical experience. He isn't simply making a movie that happens to be available in IMAX. He is designing sequences specifically to take advantage of large format presentation. That's why the premium ticket has become part of the excitement. For many fans, seeing Dune Part 3 on a normal screen isn't necessarily enough. They want the full experience, the giant image, the deep sound, the massive desert landscapes, Hans Zimmer's score filling the theater, and those enormous sequences where the screen expands. There is also the emotional factor. This is the conclusion of Villeneuve's Dune trilogy. That makes the theatrical experience feel more important. Fans waited years between the first two movies. Now they're preparing for the final chapter. And when a movie is being marketed as a major cinematic event, people naturally want to experience it as one. That's why ticket sales are happening so early. It's not simply about seeing the movie, it's about seeing it the right way. Of course, there is one thing viewers should keep in mind. Not every IMAX theater is the same. A digital IMAX presentation is not identical to a true 70mm IMAX film presentation. The screen size, projection system, and aspect ratio capabilities can vary significantly between locations. So if you're buying a ticket specifically because you want the ultimate Dune experience, check exactly what format your theater is offering. Look for IMAX 70mm if that's what you're after, and check whether your location supports the expanded 1.43:1 presentation. That's especially important because premium tickets can be expensive. You want to know what you're actually paying for. But regardless of the exact format, one thing is already obvious. Dune Part 3 has become an event before it has even reached theaters. Tickets are selling months in advance. Some premium screenings have already sold out. The latest pre-sale wave has generated enough traffic to overwhelm theater websites. And the competition with Avengers Doomsday is turning December into one of the biggest cinematic battles of the year. The fascinating thing is that none of this is happening because audiences have already seen the movie. They're buying based on trust. They trust Denis Villeneuve. They trust the Dune franchise. They trust the IMAX experience. And after what audiences experienced with Dune Part 2, that trust is incredibly powerful. So why is everyone buying Dune Part 3 tickets so early? Because the movie isn't being treated like an ordinary release. It's being treated like a theatrical event. Fans know the best IMAX seats are limited. They know 70mm presentations are extremely limited. They know the movie was designed with large format cinema in mind. And they know that Dune Part 3 represents the final chapter of Denis Villeneuve's planned trilogy. Add in the December 18th showdown with Avengers Doomsday, and you have the perfect recipe for a ticket-buying frenzy. The movie may still be months away, but for IMAX fans, the countdown has already begun.
And if this demand continues, Dune Part 3 could become one of the biggest premium format events we've seen in years. The real question now isn't whether people want to see Dune. They clearly do. The question is, how much will audiences be willing to pay to see Arrakis on the biggest screen possible? Because when Dune Part 3 finally arrives, the IMAX screen isn't going to be just a place to watch the movie. For many fans, it is going to be the reason to see it.